because something that they're doing right now is that they're kind of, after the hit that they had with the Fortnite versus mobile, they're listening to the community.
Yeah.
Because they know that they need the community right now.
Otherwise, start losing business.
Yeah. Welcome to the Alejandro Villacis Show. This is the Alejandro Villacis Show, where we talk about gaming, entrepreneurship, and family. In this episode, we're going to be talking about the new updates in Fortnite and their collaborations with Marvel. And joining me today, we have my co-host, my dad. How you doing?
All right, today is the day that the summer ends.
Yep, it's the last week of the summer, sadly.
I'm excited for school. I'm excited to see you guys going back to school. At least, it's sad at one point because, we had you for a long time. But mommy and I, we need some time together.
Yeah, definitely. It's kind of like we're gonna miss the summer, but there's more things to come. Example, Christmas. So I'm happy about Christmas because Christmas and December, if you guys didn't know, are like my favorite time of the year. Because one, it's Christmas, and two, I have my birthday in the same month, so it's like the best month ever. Like that's the best month. So I'm like looking forward, like school's there, but then there's a bigger prize waiting. You know what I'm saying?
It sucks right now too that we have the COVID situation, and now they like going back to school. I mean, you have to wear masks, you have to wear all these things.
Yeah, that's the only thing. It's gonna be like more like we have to go back to school, and then plus the COVID stuff. So it's kind of demotivating. But I know Santa's gonna come through.
So if it was up to you, would you go back to school or would you want to stay be either homeschool or do the virtual? Because a lot of states are doing just virtual learning. Would you?
Yeah.
What would be your preference?
Me, sadly, I would rather go to school because I like the environment, but I don't think the environment right now is how it used to be. So I feel like I loved learning there, and one, being with my friends, and two, in general, like I like learning, visually, asking questions and them answering me, like just right on, like one-on-one. As there's more people in the class, so it's not like straight one-on-one, just teachers, but it's more of like in virtual, you don't get that same experience that you're in school.
You get the energy.
Yeah.
You don't get to feel the people in the room and ask questions.
And it's kind of more like when you, especially for me, I don't know if it goes for you guys, but when I'm at home, it's more like home is something to be fun. You know what I'm saying? It's not a work environment for me, especially. At times I can work, but then I'm like, oh, I could play, be outside, be with Benji. I get distracted really easily at home. So I do like going to school, but not at the condition that it is right now. But it is what it is.
Yeah, we're gonna give it a shot. Give it a shot. Hopefully, you have fun with
my mask,
with the mask, and with all the plastic stuff that they have. Man, I don't know. I just keep praying for you guys. I keep praying for you. But today, what are we gonna talk about today? What's the topic?
Today we're gonna be talking about the Fortnite updates and the collab with Marvel. Definitely something interesting because we just had the Apple versus Fortnite, and now we have probably one of their biggest collabs ever with Marvel.
So you were explaining to me right before we came into the air. You explained to me what that was. So you show me the video. Yes, I told you show me the video of the collab so I could understand a little bit of what they were talking about.
Let's roll the trailer for people that haven't watched it yet. So let's do this.
Show me the video so I can understand what you're talking about. Because I don't play Fortnite, but I watch you play Fortnite.
Yeah. So here's the new. Where's this?
So this is the Fortnite update, or?
This is the trailer for the new update and the collab with Marvel.
Okay, let's check it out.
Like we got Iron Man there. So it's more of they're going for, taking the characters out and putting them into the game.
Oh, so I see what they're doing.
Yeah.
They're in the field and they're being abducted.
Then you got one of your favorite characters, Wolverine.
Oh, Wolverine. I love Wolverine. I look at myself in the mirror every day and I tell myself that I'm Wolverine.
So I like the way that they're doing this and directing it, and it's more of like the two worlds colliding.
But Aquaman is not here, right?
Yeah. They already
Aquaman's
did
not here. Aquaman's DC. That's Mom's favorite character.
Yeah.
Aquaman.
So then we have Thor here breaking up the fight and two worlds colliding, and they're basically focusing
Who's that guy?
They're focusing on the villain, and they're going for more of like the galaxy vibe type, like the crossover.
So now Fortnite is using those characters
in the game. Yes.
Okay. Yeah,
And
you can do that.
yeah.
You can do that. Okay. So you explain to me.
All right, ready?
So what? So basically, they're taking the characters and putting them in the game. Is that what they're
Yeah,
doing?
so basically what they're doing is a collaboration, and many people actually kind of saw this coming because they were kind of teasing the superhero theme for a really long time, and they were like, will they ever have a Marvel collab with Fortnite? And it actually came to this. The last season was actually pretty bad in terms of the communication with the community, but this season is going to be and probably will be one of the best seasons that has been in a while.
So were they asking for this? Like, was the community asking for this type of collaboration?
Well, it was kind of like, so the community kind of saw this coming, and it was kind of, when was it going to come out? And it came out as season 4, and people were hyping it up and seeing that it's going to be a really good season, and hopefully they keep continuing that communication, because something that they're doing right now is that they're kind of, after the hit that they had with the Fortnite versus mobile, they're listening to the community.
Yeah.
Because
They
they
have
know
to.
that they need the
They have
community
to.
right now.
Otherwise, they start losing business.
Yeah.
So imagine the conference is gonna be crazy. The Fortnite conference, the World
Yeah.
Cup. I mean, there's gonna be now people in costumes as Thor, as the X-Men, as
Yeah.
Iron Man. This is gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy. Where do you
Definitely.
think they're gonna have the next conference? Are
The
they
next
saying
World
anything
Cup?
about it? The next World Cup?
Oh, well, the next World Cup is supposed to be 2021, but we're not sure right now. And just for you guys don't know what the World Cup is basically a big LAN tournament that people compete for prizes, but also have a really fun time. And they wear costumes, and they
Oh, they go all out. They
yeah,
go all out. We went there last year, and
Yeah,
it was
and
like man, they spent so much money on all
Yeah.
these different
And the
things. It was crazy.
arena is so nice.
It's crazy.
It was the Arthur Ashe Stadium in New York, and it was amazing. The studio blew me away because the production team was out of this world. It was really good.
Yeah, I really enjoy the community. I mean, and the kids. Yeah, everybody was engaged. Everybody
Yeah, and it
engaged.
was-
I fell asleep on watching
Yeah,
watching
definitely.
Fortnite. I fell asleep. I'll be honest. I can't seem to grasp like all the fights that happen at the same
Yeah.
time. So we were watching. How many screens at one point we were watching?
Yeah, we were watching like at least like 10 screens.
At one time. So you lost me at one screen.
Yeah.
I could focus on one screen. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm the boomer. I'm the guy who could just focus on
Yeah.
one thing.
So it was more like what was a cool thing that my dad kind of experienced is that it was more of these pros like being at your level, more of like human level, more of not like, being up in the stadium, but going to see the fans, signing t-shirts, signing posters, and just being with the fans and being with the community. And my dad saw like this is the next generation of rock
It's an opportunity.
stars.
It's an opportunity. I said, this is also the business side of it. As a businessman, I'm looking at, man, like this is a trend. Like I told you, I said we have to open up some kind of like sports center shops here in town to allow these kids to play and also build a community. That's one of the ideas that you and I had, is how to build a kind of like an arcade type of
Yeah,
center.
that's been a dream of mine, definitely.
So kids will come in, they'll play Fortnite or play video games, but then at the same time have a social environment. And then I'll get them to do some burpees. I'll hook up with Joe from the Spartan. Did you see the video from Joe Spartan?
Yeah, I did.
At the camp that he did in his
That was cool.
that was cool. You going there next, man. You're going there next
I
year.
don't
So
think
Joe, if
so.
you're listening to this podcast, I'm gonna send my son to your camp
Maybe
next year.
I'll think about
Maybe
it.
we'll put
I'll
a
think about
clip.
it.
We'll have the team put a little bit of a clip on this podcast, on this video podcast of what I'm talking about, so kids could see, like, if you're gonna play video games, you have to get out there and be active.
Yeah. And I feel like with the arcade or whatever we're gonna call it, it's more of like just having something that's relatable to people, because at the end of the day, it's more like a community, and it's more of like an environment of helping each other and motivating each other to be better.
Got it.
So back to the season 4 of Fortnite Chapter 2 this is the Battle Pass gameplay trailer that everyone's basically, it's cosmetics Battle Pass that you can buy. It's about 950 V-Bucks. And then if you want to go up in tiers, so there's basically 100 tiers, and you get skins, emotes, back blings, and pickaxes, everything that you can get in the game. You get this for a certain price.
Okay,
Basically.
let's see it.
So-
Let's see it.
My memories are broken, but I know I brought these mighty warriors here to defend our reality. How High above this strange land is where we'll prepare to stand against him. Galactus, the devourer of worlds. We must remember who we are. Storm.
It was basically almost all the Avengers coming into the world of Fortnite, all being
Wolverine. And I am Groot.
and we got Groot here and Thor. So it's very interesting because we have really fun gameplay for casual players and also good updates for competitive players. So there's ups and downs for this update. You know, it looks fun, and that's what I think they were going for in the season. Having fun and bringing back.
That's awesome. Looks good, man.
Old things.
Looks good. Looks. But do you think I mean, I look at this as I remember the first game that you got involved with, and we and I used to actually you and I used to play together. What was the game?
It was
DC. It was Superman.
It was,
the superhero. It was in PlayStation.
What was his name? Yeah, it was.
It was when the superheroes
It was like
battled
a
each
Mortal
other.
Kombat.
It wasn't Mortal Kombat.
No, I know. It's like a something Justice League.
It was a Justice League game that you and I were. Are they going to be able to battle with each other?
Yeah, no, so basically this is being able to, that you could buy, and it's more like buying the skins. And what the coolest update is they're giving kind of like a special abilities. So let me read out one of the updates that they've gotten in here. Let's see this. So the new weapons that they added from Marvel it's called Silver Surf's board. So Silver Surf is actually a Marvel character that is fully iron and has like this nice surfboard that makes him like fly and like anti-gravity more. So in the game you have it. It's a cosmetic that comes in a mythic rarity, and they go and they use it, and it's kind of more like a more of like a deploying mid-air kind of anti-gravity. So it's kind of more like a mobility item. And then at the end we got here we got Groot's Bramble Shield, and it's more of like a ball that you can roll into, and it's more of like it looks like a gerbil ball almost, and it's made out of wood.
And if people shoot you,
yeah,
you
if people shoot, it's like a 600 health, and it's kind of like you could jump, bounce in
That's
it.
cool. He used it in the movie when the spaceship crashed.
The spaceship and the Guardian of the Galaxies, and he saved them with that. And we also have Dr. Doomsday's mystical bomb, and it's more of like an energy field type bomb, like nuclear reactive. And it's also all of these are mythic rarities because only one of them spawn in the game, so you could only get this. You know, they try to kill the players, and it's kind of balanced and same time overpowered. And some people say it's good, but one thing that people don't like is that it's in competitive, and that it's kind of could be overbalanced in competitive in terms of because there's only one player could have it. So in casual gameplay, it's more like fun, you know, Marvel kind of. But then when you're playing for real, you don't want Iron Man flying, or you don't want.
I was gonna say how are the competitive kids
like
are looking at this update versus the kids who are just playing to enjoy the game?
Yeah, and it's more like it's overwhelming because there's so much stuff happening. You know, you got Groot over there, and then you got Iron Man, and you have Thor, you have Doomsday. Like it's so much things going on that people can't process it.
So for the competitive game is more distractive.
It's more distractive, and you know stuff that's like you can die easily to it now, and it's more like you have to look at it like, oh, instead of fighting now you have to be more protective because those items could kill you.
So is it Fortnite? Do you think that through this update, Fortnite is going more for like the consumer who wants entertainment versus the competitive
I'm thinking that they kind of lost because you know how they just had their mobile versus. Fortnite versus Apple, and they just lost their mobile
so is
casual
it done?
players.
Is that, there's
yeah,
no more,
so basically what happened,
mobile?
an update for the Apple versus Fortnite, mobile players can still play the game and still have it on their phone. They can no longer download it anymore because it is, if you download it somehow, I don't think you can download it anymore as of now, but before you could have downloaded, but it gets stuck in the old season. So now mobile players cannot update their game anymore. So
if you have a phone with the Fortnite, is that worth anything now?
Yeah,
I think I saw something like people are buying the old phones with Fortnite because you can't download it.
Yeah, now you can. I think it'll go probably up in price, but as of now, you can't get, if you just get a new phone and you're trying to play Fortnite on it, you cannot get it anymore because of the terms of services with Apple.
So Apple kicked them out.
Yeah,
Android
kicked them out completely.
No more Fortnite in the mobile devices.
Basically, you can play it, but on the old season, and no one really wants to play old stuff anymore. So it'll eventually die out, and people, maybe PS4 and them will give a discount and try to drag, because Abby, she used to be a mobile player, and now she's her friends are convincing her to get a PS4 or Nintendo Switch or Xbox. So maybe PS4 should capitalize, or any company that's not mobile should capitalize on this.
Oh, wow. Yeah, so that's an opportunity.
Yeah, it's an opportunity for people to make more money and, give them discounts, because when someone's kind of, lost their game, or, lost their prized possession, they're trying to look for something else. Yeah, like Abby, she kind of spent most of the time now she's trying to play on my PC. I'm like,
I see her downstairs in your PC room. I see her like that. She's trying to get in, so she's asking me for a PC.
Yeah, and I'm like, I feel like they could capitalize on this
opportunity.
It's a good opportunity. So basically, how this is affected Fortnite, they are definitely going towards the casual players, because they know they just lost the big chunk of casual players. So now they're trying to, please them more and listen to the community as more now than they have ever have, because they need the support from them more than ever now. So it's kind of like they're giving back to them, and they're like, in return, we need your support back. So they're kind of like, it's always like a meme that Fortnite has never listened to the community ever, because, they're billionaires. They don't need us anymore. They're kind of on their own pace. And since they have so much money, people are not stop playing it because of the competitive prize pool. So it's kind of like they are playing it, but they hate the game at the same time. But it's really addicting, and there's really a lot of money involved, so they're not going to stop playing. So basically, now that they need support, they're kind of like, okay, guys, let's do it. Let's do a deal. You know what I'm saying?
Now they want to make it,
but you give us your support. So it's kind of like a trade. And in my opinion, it's a pretty good trade, because some of the things that we've been asking for a really long time has actually come back to the game. So basically, last season, they took out one of the best guns in the game called Pump Shotgun. It was basically something that has been in the game for so long, and they added this new gun, and it was a whole new mechanic. It was something that you had to charge, and it's called a charged shotgun. So it's a whole new mechanic at the game. People were not good at it. And now what they've done is, here, let's list off some of the vaulted items that they just went over this season. So basically, the tac shotgun, which is pretty interesting, because this has been in the game since day one. They've never taken this out. They actually took out one rarity, but they actually put on all rarities back in. They took out all the rarities of the tactical shotgun, so it's not coming back as of now. They took out the pistol, which is pretty interesting, because they're trying to take out old items and add in new things, or new things that people want. So they took out the pistol. They took up a rapid fire SMG, which was an SMG that people were very skeptical about, and some people liked it and some people didn't. They took out the hunting rifle, which are some of people's favorite guns, because it has it's kind of like a fun mechanic sniper, and trick shotters, they really like to use that. So they took out the flare gun, which is actually a new gun that they had, but it didn't have much use in the game. So it was kind of like a fun gun while it lasted. Launch pads is something that people were really shocked about, because launch pads were kind of a mobility item, and that helps you get around the map, and helps you get kills, helps you move in zones. In competitive, it was used a lot. Like when you got a launch pad, it's kind of like it's like kind of helps you live longer in that game. So interesting that they took that out, and definitely competitive is not happy about that. And if they put launch pads back, I think that it would be at a good state. Stink bombs. They took out stink bombs. Not a lot of people liked it, and it was coming off of Marauder spawns, so it was kind of hard to get. But at the same time, not a lot of people used it, and especially now. Back then, they used to use it at trios, because people in competitive base up a lot, and they don't want to get shot. So if people are boxing up and are in a tight area of space, they basically throw in this grenade, and they take 5 damage. So it does do bits and pieces. Decoys, not many people liked it. It was okay for a while it lasted, served its purpose. But the unvaulted guns, this is where it gets a little interesting, because this is where they listen to the community the most. And these are things that people, never would expect it ever Epic to get him back. It was like kind of like a meme, like, oh my gosh, this gun got unvaulted. But now when that morning I woke up, I saw a bunch of like Twitter posts, Instagram posts, YouTube, as like these guns came back. And I thought it was a troll at first because I'm like, Epic would never listen to us and put it back. So the pump shotgun came back because they knew the charged shotgun was actually not, working for them, and people didn't like to learn a whole new mechanic. Revolver, it's a pistol that's essentially an epic and legendary variety of a pistol. So it's an okay gun and people like it. Scoped assault rifle, this is actually interesting because in my opinion, I don't like the gun, but some people may like it, and it's kind of like a sniper but assault rifle at the same time. The tactical submachine, this is probably used to be one of the most overpowered guns ever, and I'm surprised that they did bring it back, but we'll see how it does go and play. The shockwave grenade, this is something that they kind of replaced for the launch pad because it is such a mobility item that it's actually funny because now a lot of people complained about this overpowered mythic grenade launcher. It was called Kit's grenade launcher, and it was like the most OP thing ever, overpowered thing ever. And then now they have a bunch of people with shockwaves, but I think they kind of had to replace it with the launch pad because if not, there would be no mobility in the game. Boogie bombs, it's something that many people use but are really annoying. Bounce pads, something that is very fun and that can be really useful at sometimes. And Porta-Fort, something that was really old that they brought back, and definitely people have interesting ways to use it. So those are most of the things that happened in Fortnite Season 4 that, helped the game, and I feel like they are targeting more of people that are casuals, and this will be something that can help the game and revive the game after they just got basically hit in the face with the Apple lawsuit.
So if I wanted to get all those guns, how much is that going to cost me?
It's actually free. It's in the game.
Which is free, so I don't have to pay for it.
I
love it. I love the update already, so I don't have to spend any money. You don't have to spend any money on this.
So basically, it's more of like a battle royale, and you go to certain locations, and with these 4 mythic as the Silver Surfboard, Groot's shield, Dr. Doomsday's. Yeah, so basically, but what it is about this is called a mythical POI, so it's point of interest. So it is very contested because there's so many people trying to go for those things, so it's more of like, it's like a high risk, high reward kind of place. And it's going to see interesting because pro players, basically competitive players, it's kind of like, there's a lot of factors that go into competitive landing, where you land their guns. And something that people don't like is they actually lowered the rate of chest spawns, which could ultimately lead to not getting enough weapons and can't fight enough people because of the lower chances of getting a chest. So now in competitive, they're trying to be more strategic where they're landing because, they have to be careful if someone gets this guns and they can't defend themselves. So it's more of like they have to be tactical, and if they're going to use this, if they're going to, be like, okay, we'll back off, but, just give us our spot. And, it's kind of like if everyone had an empty field and everyone tried to claim their spot.
Got it.
And there's advantages and disadvantages of every spot. So it's really interesting, and that's why I like Battle Royales a lot.
Love it. So, one thing I know, with new update, everybody's going to be running towards the game and trying to play as much as they can.
Yeah.
If you are listening to this, your kids or parents, just manage your time.
Yeah.
Manage your time, because I don't want this to happen. Like, I don't want the same thing that happened last time, you and I, where your grades went down, when we had to have the discussion whether we're going to throw the computer out the window or not. Like, so what are you doing right now so it doesn't happen? Because now this is exciting. This is a new version of new season. How are you managing your time? How are you going to start, getting the school and the gaming on?
Yeah, so here's something that's interesting, because one thing that I always say is I like to learn from my mistakes and my failures. And I feel like one thing that's so important that people should learn, and it's something that it's really hard to learn, is time management. And I feel like that's one of the most important things, because I feel like people, when they go to school, they kind of, think that they can't have fun anymore, and they, have to full on study. And that is sometimes true, but I feel like having a little fun can also balance and help you in school, because
100%.
It helps you balance out, what you need to do versus, just having your head into it. And sometimes it gets you stressed, because I remember when I was full on to school, devoted all my hours, I would get stressed because I was kind of like, I had no way to release my energy of being fun, my happy side. I was more serious all the time. I would get mad really easily. And it was kind of like a state in my life where I actually got sick from being stressed and having finals and all of that. And it was stressing me out because I didn't have the fun side of me and I was just focusing on school. So I do think that, you know, managing your time well is something that you should do, and that it's always good to have fun, because at the end of the day, you know, if you die tomorrow, you want to have those fun times, but also don't take it to the extreme. And people know their line, and they kind of, it's like when you know you had too much ice cream, but you still want that extra ice cream. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, you shouldn't have it.
Now you're talking my language.
Yeah.
Now you're talking my language.
It's kind of like,
I love ice cream.
Yeah, it's like when you're having ice cream and you're full, but the ice cream is just so good. So it's kind of like, you know your own boundaries and you know what you can do. And everyone knows their boundaries, and they just need to respect their balance and their time and boundaries.
The one thing we talk about all the time is discipline. Yep. Discipline, habits and discipline. Like parents, if you listen to this, teach your kids to have discipline. Like play 2 hours if you want to play 2 hours or 3 hours, and give yourself a break. Same thing, discipline and habits. The moment that we start learning the healthy habits, healthy discipline, it will go a long way.
It will.
And parents, talk to your kids. Don't make this game wrong. Help them, because you know what we do as adults sometimes is that we make the new things wrong. And, and that doesn't work, because it just separates us as opposed to unite us.
Yeah, and I feel like when parents are open to their kids and, you know, exploring and helping them, and ultimately helping them do good at school and accepting their new passion, it helps them at school, because it's, you know, the parents are supporting them, and ultimately they're like, okay, son, you could play these 2 hours, but you also need to do your homework. So it's kind of a win-win on both sides.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward for the next season of FORTNITE. I'm looking for the next season of Christmas.
Yep.
Summer's over, but we had a great time, man. A great time. Love you. Love you.
Love you too.
All right.
Thank you for watching the Alejandro Villacis Show. Make sure to subscribe, like, and comment what you got from this podcast. Thank you for tuning into the show. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share.